Hi everyone, and welcome to the Virgo March 2022 mid-month engagement reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance, or more simply put, to better find where you fit. All right, Virgo, so this reading is a quick mid-month reading to basically remind you to keep your internal authentic self connected with your external environment authentically by giving you a message from Spirit that is going to be kind of a focal point to just keep in mind for the second half of this month, so that when you start to kind of feel a little disconnected, or you realize that you've gone through most of the day and you haven't really been aware of yourself, to keep this point in mind to kind of bring you back to present awareness. All right, what does Virgo need to know or need to focus on for the second half of this month? What do all the Virgos out there need to know? I hope all of you have had a wonderful March so far. I am going to use this time actually to say thank you so much for everyone who has commented and liked and subscribed to this channel. It means so much to me. So, okay, wow, you have 3 cards that came out. So we have Reassurance of the Golden Light, number 36, breaking down to a 9. I'm not going to show the top part of this card just because it has an unclothed woman on it, but we have 7th Ray of Ritual, Order, and Ceremony, number 44, breaking down to an 8. I love that number. It's an angelic number. And we have Hold Your Center, number 34, breaking down to a 7. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read the excerpt from the book that comes with these readings. And I'm going to read, if I can get these to kind of stand up there. So I'm going to read the little excerpt that came just so you guys can get a message straight from there, and then we'll kind of look into them all together intuitively. So, Reassurance of the Golden Light, number 36. It says, "This golden light comes to you as a gift of grace and reassurance. It is an embrace from the universe, an expression of divine comfort, and a sign of hope. When the golden light appears, it is a sign that everything in your life, even the most troubling matters, is going to work out perfectly. They are held in the graceful hand of the divine and will be resolved more swiftly and beautifully than you expect." Oh, I love that. Okay, then we have the second one here, which is the 7th Ray of Ritual, Order, and Ceremony, number 44. And it says, "When the gift of the 7th ray enters your life, something new is being formed, something that will benefit your world. There may be an increased interest in magic, ceremony, and ritual for healing purposes. Resonating with high-frequency violet light and the archangel Zadkiel, the 7th ray also helps transmute energy from lower to higher frequency. It is a spiritual cleansing agent that allows the truth of spiritual freedom, empowerment, and choice to be seen and felt, restoring hope and joy to the heart." I love that. I love that element that says that allows the truth of spiritual freedom, empowerment, and choice to be seen and felt. And then we have Hold Your Center, number 34. It says, "Have you been rushing out to meet others, trying to bend or accommodate their needs at the expense of your own well-being and inner peace?" I'm going to say that again. I think I read that a little off. "Have you been rushing out to meet others, trying to bend or accommodate to their needs at the expense of your own well-being and inner peace? Now you are to strengthen your own energy, your own boundaries, to find your ground. Firmly place your feet there and do not move. Feel your feet anchoring you like a beautiful tree. Let yourself experience quiet certainty as you hold your center with commitment, courage, and consciousness." This is a really powerful group of cards here, Virgo. There's an element of, I feel like maybe you guys have been questioning something. Questioning, should I keep doing this? Should I maybe you've been going through a difficult time, kind of like with the reassurance of the golden light, that there's something coming through saying what you're questioning right now is going to be more swiftly resolved than you know. And you're being asked to hold true to who you are, because there is energy moving through right now that is going from a lower vibration to a higher vibration, and that you are going to, I think, get back into this place of feeling empowered, feeling like you can make decisions again for yourself that come directly from this sense of personal empowerment. So it's a beautiful message to kind of focus on and kind of hold through the end of this month, is to maybe, if you feel like you were maybe going to let something go, or you were going to give up on something, or that you thought that this was never going to happen for you, to stay and hold true to it. Hold your center, stay grounded. Don't turn away just yet. And where there's some aspect of your life that feels like something is wrong or something's not being resolved, allow the assurance that it will be to come in, to allow you to feel that freedom that comes with being able to make choices on your own behalf, and know that those choices will make a difference in your experience. So that place of empowerment that comes from holding true to you. All right, so I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to pull some additional cards to kind of expand on this message. So we're going to see what Spirit would like you to be curious and open to for this month. So we have number 7. It says, to the sea. Now I'm going to go ahead. So to the sea is about talking about being in flow. This is about really speaking to that understanding that there are ebbs and flows to our life cycle, that at certain points we feel like we are moving forward with the tide, and there are certain times when we feel like maybe everything's kind of retracting or pulling back, or that we're swimming against the tide. So with this coming in, the number 7 for me always denotes really having a divine, or an opportunity to engage with the divine, to engage with Spirit, to reflect and reevaluate something in the moment. So when we're thinking about curiosity here, where would Spirit like you to be curious and stay optimistically open to? Is being open to where right now you kind of feel like things are not flowing, where you feel like things are kind of stuck and you're kind of just maybe in a waiting game, and to realize, okay, if I can hold true, if I can hold my center, if I can just sit in this boat for a little while. I like how in this depiction there's like the binoculars and the little kind of like compass here, that there's this feeling of like her sitting and waiting. What I love is that actually, and I know this is very difficult to see, it's actually a fairy sitting in this boat. She has wings. And it's interesting to me that she's choosing to sit in the boat and wait for the tide to take her, when in reality she could fly. She could get up and go wherever she wants, but she's holding true to timing. She's holding true to sitting with Spirit to take the time to reevaluate. I almost get the feeling of kind of the Hanged Man card from the tarot coming in here. So there is something around that, Virgo, to be open and curious about, maybe where you feel like something isn't happening, where the timing isn't working, where you feel like maybe you could pick up and fly over here, or just leave this whole experience, and where to stay open and curious as to, well, maybe that's for a reason, that something isn't quite working out, or you don't feel quite in the flow, and allow Spirit to give you this time to see something that Spirit wants to bring to your attention, that's going to allow you to realize, that's why I needed to wait here for just this minute. That's why I needed to kind of hold my ground, and I needed to stand strong, because something was being resolved in the background. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull a card here for the concept of courage. And this is where Spirit would like you to be courageous in taking action for the second half of this month. So let's take a look here. What does Virgo need to know about where to take action, where to stay strong and courageous? let's see, Virgo, you have a full moon coming up in your sign on Friday, the 18th. So hope you will all take advantage of that because it's a very potent full moon. We have Rhino Spirit. It says, overcome any obstacle, number 50, breaking down to a 5, which denotes change. It denotes kind of, actually, the number 5 is also a middle period. You know, it's right in the middle between 1 and 10. So, and it does, as a number, it faces backwards and forwards. So there is this kind of feeling here that as you're thinking about taking action, that Spirit is letting you know you're in the middle point. You're kind of like waiting. You're here. Now you can choose to go backwards or forwards, but when you think about overcoming any obstacle, that's going to usually mean moving forward. It's going to mean understanding that you have the ability within you to kind of, I like how it shows it kind of almost looks like it's breaking through a wall here, but yet there's like flowers and wings and all this beautiful stuff kind of growing around it. So it's showing that sometimes when we go through a period of holding our center and like waiting and waiting and waiting, when we finally get the opportunity to break through, it might seem like it's going to be painful or destructive, and in reality, it's actually what was needed for that growth to take hold. So as you're waiting, understand that you truly can overcome any obstacle. And if you feel like right now you might not truly understand, how or what's coming up for you, to just sit from a place of understanding that when the time is right, the action you will be able to, but basically when you think about obstacles, there might be an obstacle right now that again is kind of being resolved in the background, and that you're questioning, well, how is it going to be resolved? Is it going to be resolved? Is it going to happen for me? And you can overcome it. But there's a point here where Spirit is asking you to just take that time to reflect, have this confidence in yourself that yes, you can overcome anything that comes up, and just hold that. I almost don't get this feeling of really needing to take action, which is interesting. It's almost more of like just understanding that you have the ability to overcome any obstacle, to sit with that clarity and that assurance of just that, so that you have the assurance to kind of hold true to really what I think you were maybe looking to walk away from. Okay, and then we're going to pull a final card here for the concept of contemplation. So this is where Spirit would like you to stay, where Spirit would like you to reflect on for the second half of this month, kind of the underlying theme for this overarching focal point. So what does Virgo need to know from you, Spirit, about what to reflect on? I love it. So we have embrace the moment. Ooh, 2 cards that both are, which is interesting because I really, saw that 44 breaking down to the 8. These are both cards that are orange that hold that kind of power of the number 8, which is personal empowerment. So I like this. So we have embrace the moment. It says, embrace this day, this very moment. Think positively today and repel those negative thoughts. Try not to judge yourself or others. This may be harder than you think. What is actually happening is that you're changing your energy. And then we have fun. It says stop. When was the last time you had fun? When was the last time you took a chance and did something silly, something totally unlike you, something just for the joy of it? It's long overdue for you to let go of your analytical mind and give yourself and your soul permission to have fun. And I love that because Virgo, you are a sign that can be a little overly analytical at times. And I think really actually coming into the full moon on the 18th, there is this feeling of releasing, of really using that analyzation of your sign to kind of take a look at ourselves and to find parts of ourselves that we do need to release, that maybe are not in alignment anymore with kind of what we're emotionally connected to. And I kind of feel like this is kind of playing into that a little bit. But as a point of reflection, this is really exactly kind of what is coming through here in the embrace the moment, is really to understand that in order to kind of allow you to hold your center is to embrace what's happening now. Instead of trying to think about and plan and plot all of these things for the future. It's more about just kind of holding true, embracing the moment as it is, because that really is where the magic lies, is in the moment, and allow yourself to just sit with patient trust and knowing, but also to remember that in the moment, it's about having fun. It isn't about, we will have fun when this happens down the line. We will enjoy life when we get this or when we accomplish that. It's about, no, life is about having fun in the moment. It's about enjoyment. And if you can kind of focus on that, that's what's going to allow you to basically just hold true to yourself for the second half of this month, to allow you to wait for the tide to come in April. To allow you to wait for something in the background that's being resolved so that you can move forward as soon as the wind picks up and everything starts to go. And the whole reason why you're being asked to kind of sit here now is because, again, you're being given a moment to kind of regroup, recollect, get back in touch with yourself, with this aspect of some part of your experience right now that you are ready to walk away from, but which actually is something you're being asked to kind of sit with. Don't walk away from it, because it is part of who you are. But that you'll, I think, better be able to either have an opportunity that comes in April, or better just be able to work from a place of personal empowerment. That as the energies start to move forward again in April, you're going to have more clarity. And that there's a reason for that, that there's something that, again, you needed to see now, that you'll experience now, and kind of staying true to yourself, that as the energies pick up in April, you'll be able to move forward in a more, I think, in sync way with yourself and spirit. All right, so Virgo, I hope you have a fantastic rest of March, and if you would like to illuminate your own personal spiritual importance and to see how it can be of service to yourself and others, I will be running a special for my 1 hour I Am Illuminated reading for the entire month of April. And I will be posting a video actually later this week that is going to really talk about what that reading provides, what it looks at, and how I help you answer in that reading your what, your how, and your why, and basically allow you to better see yourself as the unique, spiritually important being that you are. And the link to my website is in the description box below, but otherwise keep your eye out for that video so that you can get a better idea again as to what is, why it's important to understand your own spiritual importance. And if I don't see you, Virgo, until April's illumination readings, I will hope that you all have a lovely and illuminating rest of March. Bye.